right, everyone. Well, welcome back, and we are very luckily joined once again by the UFC's newest signee to the heavyweight division, Braxton Smith. So, Braxton, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Firstly, how are things going with you today, man?
Pretty good, man. I just actually finished doing some shopping. Gonna put some veggie burgers on the grill. But other than that, man, everything's pretty good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, nice, man.
Good,
Can't
brother. Good,
complain.
man.
Can't complain here. But look, Braxton, I just want to get straight into it. So, I just wanted to know, heading into the UFC's heavyweight division, does it excite you knowing that because heavyweight is, it's such an open division that with a few good wins under your belt, you can very quickly find yourself in, the upper echelon of the division?
Yeah, it's really exciting actually. I think John and Stipe are kind of like on their way out.
Mm.
Um, it's kind of wide open outside of the top five guys. But yeah, man, it's exciting to kind of get in here and make my debut, make a statement, and win another one this year, and kind of see what holds for me in the future.
Definitely. Braxton, man, look, at the end of last year, I remember sending you a message because some things maybe weren't going your way with Peak, and those talks you maybe retiring and looking at football as an option and things like that. How does it feel now to be 6-7 months removed from that, and you've just signed with the UFC?
Man, I totally forgot about that. But yeah, brother, it's really been, man. You know what? I still, everyone's asking, but I still don't think it's hit me yet. When I fly out Tuesday, and I'm actually, with UFC representatives and getting my packages and interviewing guys. Like I got my itinerary with the UFC on like with through an email with my name on it, and I kind of got a text yesterday from one of the representatives that's going to kind of be my caretaker there. So it started like really seek in with that, but yeah, man, I just kind of, it's crazy that happened because I was really, like, man, I'm just going to retire or stop for like 9 months or go back to playing ball. And, now that I'm here, it's surreal, bro. And I didn't let anything like stop me. I gave myself like a 2.5 year window to get to the UFC, and I did it less than a year. And like I told, the promoter and everybody else that, you won't be able to stop my shine. Even though I had some dark moments like thinking about quitting, but I was like, man, you won't be able to stop me from getting there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, Braxton, I just wanted to know, you kind of touched on it earlier, which is, fighters like John and Stipe, they kind of look like they're on the way out, at least in the next year or so, Does this influx of new heavyweights, heavyweights such as yourself, such as Tom Aspinall, does it challenge you to train harder knowing that, you're about to get this sort of influx of, the new breed of heavyweights in MMA today?
Absolutely. Aspinall is one of my favorites. Funny you say that. I think he has the best boxing in the division, maybe the UFC. But yeah, it's exciting to be a new heavyweight, a new breed of heavyweight. I think I'm a new breed of heavyweight. Really explosive, really fast. I'm smaller, so I'm bringing that compact style, that thickness, that athleticism, to the heavyweight division, and it's exciting to be a part of a stacked division and full of great athletes. So I'm excited, and it does make you go even harder. And see, I'm even thinking about my count for the next fight and where I'll be in the next 12 months, like living wise, like what state will I be in? Will it be Oregon? Will it be Colorado? Will it be Florida, Vegas? Like, I'm thinking about all of those things because now I'm in the big show and it's time,
Definitely. Well, look, man, let's sort of get into that matchup at UFC 288. You are facing Parker Porter, and Parker's last outing was here in Australia. He fought Justin Tafa and lost. I believe it was the first round and a knockout.
Yeah.
Both you guys have very heavy hands, and you guys like to stand and bang, which is always a very fun, entertaining fight for the fans as well. Considering your power, especially, I mean, your knockout power is unheard of. It's very scary. So, what do you think of Parker Porter as an opponent, and how do you see this fight playing out?
I think he's a game opponent, man. I don't know the guy personally or know anybody who knows him personally, but I think he's a well-rounded fighter. I think he's I think he's a big heavyweight. I think he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu also. So I'm looking forward for all these new challenges that's going to present me on my debut. But I think he's a good fighter, man. It should be a good fight, and I'm going in there, like I always go in there, and that's to like shut the lights out early.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. So, Braxton, if you can, I was just wondering if you could speak to, how many fights is this deal with the UFC that you've got currently? And, were there any other offers on the table from any other organizations, leading into the deal with the UFC?
So I signed a 4-fight deal with the UFC, and I was kind of a little bit leaning towards Bellator because they have like a really good developmental program to where you can kind of fight regional level guys and get paid a lot of money to do it. So I didn't hear anything. I thought I was going to maybe go Contender Series, like I was with KO Reps and Oren and those guys wouldn't let me know anything. I didn't know what was going on, so I signed back with House and Iridian, and right away, boom, shit started working. You know what I mean? So and I was like, damn, okay, well, the UFC calls and you say when, So
definitely, yeah, that's awesome. Look, man, I want to sort of get something like a bit of perspective from you because you've been in the game for 10 years now, coming up on 10 years. You fought Chase Sherman in 2014, and obviously took that break and came back to the game. And I really like your story. When we first spoke back in November or October last year, I remember a few days beforehand you put an Instagram story up of this dream house you had in Oregon, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And I always like referencing back to that because I've watched a guy like yourself now come 5, 6, 7 months later and you've achieved that goal. So how does it feel, man, being in the game for 10 years, finally getting, the fruits of your labor 10 years into the game?
Man, that's a really good question, bro. But I got a question though. Do you consider me being a 10-year vet, being off, only having one pro fight 2014 and not doing anything MMA related, for 8 years and just start like my first.
I think if you started, if your first ever fight was say 2020, I think you're straight into the game. But I think 2014, you've had your first fight. You sort of know how to fight, but you're very early on still. I know you took the time off and that sort of stuff, but maybe not a vet, but you definitely been around and you've had that time off, and then to get straight back into the cage and then win that peak heavyweight title, you definitely got some experience, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Winning it, defending it. Yeah, it was an awesome time. Great memories, and it's something I definitely needed, man. That was one of the things that was a big goal of mine was to win a regional title. I wanted that bad. Like I turned down offers from LFA. The first LFA offer I turned down, and I turned down an offer from Fury because they were the feeders, in America for the UFC. And I was like, you know what, man? Like, let me like try to write my own legacy and just be the first fighter to ever do it, to come from peak.
You bet on yourself.
And, the first athlete to do it from peak, and I was able to capitalize and be the first athlete to make it to not only the UFC but any major big promotion. So now it kind of gives Peak some steam and just like, hey man, you don't have to go to Fury or LFA, which I have no issue with Fury or LFA, but just kind of showing athletes that it's other ways to get it done. You can go through Peak or you can go through another organization. Kind of building your own legacy and career, and that's what I did at Peak. Like I'm the greatest fighter that they had in that promotion.
Definitely,
for sure.
And that was a goal of mine.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And, Braxton, I kind of wanted to know, now that you've signed with the UFC, have you felt sort of any, an increase in internal pressure in the training room to, perform at a certain level, leading into the UFC debut? Have you felt an increase in pressure at all?
No, not an increase in pressure. I kind of feel like, with me being off for so long and then coming back and, a lot of people forget I was self-trained up till my last Savage fight, which was March 11th. So me, learning and learning on the job and learning as I go. I'm looking forward to the experience, man. Like I'm going to accept the challenge. I'm going to get better every day. I'm going to get better after this fight. I'm going to get better all around, bro, with everything I do now that I'm in the UFC. And if people think that, I only have 6 fights, or that I don't have a lot of experience, that I'm just going to lay down and just let this opportunity like pass me by. They got another fucking thing coming, so I'm looking forward for the challenge, and definitely getting better every day in training camp.
Definitely. Braxton, man, it's been a pleasure chatting to you, man, and catching up. I don't want to take too much of your time, man. So we very much appreciate you giving us a bit of time on fight week. Man, look, I want to say massive congrats as well. It's amazing that you're getting to debut at not only the UFC, but you're getting to debut at a pay-per-view event. You're getting to debut in front of a crowd. All these sort of things, man. You get to enjoy the media week and everything else. You've earned it, man, and you've earned your stripes, man. Congratulations, brother. We cannot wait to watch you do your thing this weekend. For anyone out there, UFC 288 versus Parker Porter, man, congratulations and all the best, brother. We'd love to chat to you again after the win.
I appreciate it, bro. Man, it means a lot, man. And anytime you guys want to interview, man, y'all need something on my end, let me know. I got you guys.
Definitely. Don't get too famous on us.
Never, bro. I'll never change up.
No, I know, brother. I know. All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you.